Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-December 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the beautiful Leo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the lovely Leos in mid-December 2025? It's a lovely time of year. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Leo in mid-December. What's the vibe? What's the energy here for my good friends? There we go. Real quick. Nice. So this is a card and an energy that I often pick up heavily around water signs. And I feel like that may be happening to you on a more regular basis than usual. I like it. I mean, there's not a lot of physical stuff happening here. It's definitely a lot within the head, a lot within the mind, in the etheric realm. That's what this card feels like to me. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this. So if you look here, you see the different imagery going on. We have this lovely lady. It looks like she's writing in a little journal here underneath the umbrella. There's this beautiful etheric background going on. So it is very Four of Cups like, where it's like somebody in their mind, somebody in their head. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. When I get this energy, it's great for any sort of creative pursuit, creative endeavor. So for you, whether it's any kind of self-expression like art, a hobby, just something that really makes you feel good when you do it, this is really fantastic. For a lot of you, any issues or situations, this energy is really good for thinking outside of the box for ways to really solve it. So I love the creativity with this, but the only downside, it could be a little bit too overthinky, right? It could be an energy that's trapped in its mind. So whether it's a very specific topic that you just can't get off your mind, or it could be anything where it's like, all right, you might be thinking about it a little too much. No judgment here, but that's just what the energy carries. And again, it could be somebody else that's in this vibe. So we'll see how this pieces in and runs as a theme throughout the reading. There could also be very important things here around dreams. That's one of my big cards of like, watch your dreams, dream journal. So if you're having a lot of vivid dreams, like there could be something behind it. We're just going to let that chill over there, though. She's having herself a little moment. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Leos in mid-December. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled Surprising Action Incoming. Now, that could have been action coming from you, or it could have been someone else coming towards you. And that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, but it definitely felt like somebody doing something that it's like, whoa, where'd this come from? Didn't see that happening. Like, that was like the big vibe I was picking up. So whether you were being very spontaneous or somebody else was, that energy felt very prevalent. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the lovely Leos. What do we got? What do we got for our good friends in mid-December? Thank you. Okay, cool. All right, that's a good start. Got the 2 of Pentacles in position number 1. That's usually pretty balanced, normally. We just have to see. Sometimes this energy is juggling a little too much. So if you've been busy, this energy could definitely be representing you. Let's get a couple more here. What do we got for the lovely Leos? Thank you. All right. So we got the 5 of Wands right there in the center, total opposite. This is something I've been seeing for the fire signs this week in particular, where it's like we have 2 extremes. Right? Like we have the one energy that's really cool, chill, calm, and then this one's doing the most. Let's get one more out here, and we'll piece it together. Again, it could be various people, various situations, you name it. You know how it goes. Okay? A little mystery showing up, the unknowns. So we got the beautiful, lovely High Priestess, much softer in her ways, than the other two. So I would say like the surrounding energy itself looks favorable to me, regardless of what you're going through. Like this energy on the ends feel very favorable, but we have to see what this is about. Now, let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then I'll give you the juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I always like to look at the elements first. We have a pretty good mixture this week. That's always a good thing. And when so it's like not all water, not all fire, not all earth. We have a nice little mixture where the elements could play off of each other. So I always think that's a very good thing. We got earth, fire, water. So with the earth, that represents the earthly realm. Honestly, it could represent feelings of security and stability. Earth energy does tie into finances and business, work, anything like home and family. So the material world that we live in is heavily swayed by this earthy energy. That's okay. Moving to the middle, we have the fire element. That's your comfort zone. That's your power element. That's the realm of actions. So whether it's the actions you take or the actions other people take, it's the internal combustion system within us. So it's our energy levels. It's our passion, our motivation, our drive to do things. So I think for fire signs, this element's always really a good thing. The only downside to fire is that it could be a little unpredictable, right? Like the energy could be cool and then it takes a quick left, or it could be a flare up of some kind. We want to look at it closely. And then here on the back end, we have the water. So the emotional realm, the inner feelings, especially her with her like secrecy. It's very quiet, very soft, very subtle. So it's like we have three totally different, unique energy profiles here. So we're going to have to see, is this all one thing? Is this multiple things? We're just going to have to see. Let's go through and start building it out piece by piece, though. Position number one, we're starting with the Two of Pentacles. Now, as mentioned, I like it. This is a huge card of harmony. And we see that individual there. It looks like he's kind of balancing or juggling. We got that little infinity symbol that he's holding too. So this card is a touch spiritual. It does have some karmic archetypes to it, but I generally like it because to me it represents harmony. Now, twos in tarot can represent decisions, choices, being at a crossroads, a make or break point. Generally, this to me is like, all right, you made the right choice. You did the right thing. You made the right move. So I like it for that. Now, what's the downside to the Two of Pentacles? Sometimes it can represent imbalance, where it's like, all right, you might be paying too much attention to one thing and not enough attention to the other. That could be a big thing with this. It could be a very scattered energy too. As I mentioned, it could be juggling. So whether it's a lot of things on my mind, a lot of things that are taking up my attention, the Two of Pentacles is like doing a balancing act. So we do want to look at this. And aside from all that karmic energy. Now, moving to the middle, as we get this Two of Pentacles locked back in where it belongs, we have a much more intense energy here. We got the Five of Wands, and this is one of those cards where you don't have to be an expert in tarot to understand what it means, right? We got five people, they all got sticks, they are going to battle, they are going to war, they're beating the crap out of each other, right? Now, again, there's good things with this card. It's a great card for determination, grit, drive, willpower, where it's like, I will not be denied, I will see something through, I will not quit. Love that for this. However, it could also be very problematic. So this could sometimes be a warning. It could be very confrontational. It could be someone that's angry, aggressive, very pushy. So you see what I mean? When we go from like the nice balance Two of Pentacles into this Five of Wands, is this a flare-up of some kind? Is this a problem or a situation that pops up out of nowhere where it's like, all right, everything was smooth, everything was cool, and then like we have this quiet time right here on the back end. So we do want to pay very close attention to this. And yeah, it is aggressive. It could also be mean, angry, mad. We're not going to focus on it too much. Now, moving to the back end, we have the beautiful High Priestess. She is one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. Big Pisces energy. So you might have Pisces placements. Maybe you're connected to Pisces. She is the matron of psychics, intuitives, and tarot readers. So we love the High Priestess around here. Just soft and super intuitive. So if you're an energy sensitive person, this energy could be heightened up to the max. Like this is a huge card about your gut, your intuition. So for some Leos, maybe there's something in your gut that's trying to tell you something. Maybe you're having urges or feelings that you can't quite explain when this High Priestess is here. But the big thing with her is she holds a lot of knowledge, right? She has the sacred volume of law in her lap, but she is quiet. She is a huge card of mystery and subtlety. So I don't want to say like, oh yeah, it's someone being very secretive. That is like worst case scenario when we see the High Priestess, where it's an energy that could be keeping something under wraps. but think of the mysterious, the unexpected, the unseen. That's her big vibe. So we definitely want to look at her because the way the energy flows, solid, stable, balanced, boom, flare up, lots of quiet. Like, all right, well, where did this come from? What am I missing here? So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Leo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right. Let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What do we got for the lovely Leos? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot because, as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Two of Pentacles. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Leo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Two of Pentacles time. Is it here? Thank you. All right, so to me, I either feel like something is getting better. I like it. The Three of Swords in reverse underneath the Two of Pentacles. It's like, oh, all right, cool. Things are getting better. Things are improving. So to me, it's like, I don't want to say it's the calm before the storm. To me, for a lot of you, this could be something that is either looking like it's improving or actually is. So if you've been going through a bit of a difficult time, when I see the Two of Pentacles with the Three of Swords, it's like, all right, this is someone getting their ground, or they're getting their grounding back. They're catching their footing. They're feeling much more secure. I really like this. However, when I see the Three of Swords in reverse, especially with what we have coming up, I'm just hoping that something doesn't flare back up, where it's like the calm before the storm. Things feel very calm. Things feel like they're on track. Hopefully, it continues that way throughout the whole reading. But I am very skeptical of this. So, again, whether Spirit's asking you to be skeptical or cautious about something, that's kind of how it feels to me because it's like, all right, things are getting better, but we're not fully out of the woods yet. That's how it feels to me. So, if there is a problem or a situation, all right, maybe there's improvement, but just still keep an eye on it. That's how it's feeling to me. We're not going to spend too much time here. Let's keep going. Hopefully, for all of you, we'll make the claimable part possibly something feeling better or improving. But we're going to see if that continues. So let's keep moving over to the Five of Wands. So why are these people fighting it out here for the lovely Leos? What's going on with that? Why is that? Thank you. Okay. Okay. So we have the Death card in reverse underneath this Five of Wands, and it's like, here we go again. It's like giving me that vibe. Now, for a lot of you, this doesn't feel like it's something that's necessarily new. So if it is a problem, if it is a situation, or if it's something Spirit's warning you about, to me, it's like, all right, well, I have experience with this. I've dealt with something similar, or I've done this before. It's like we have the quiet improvement, and then boom, something comes back with a vengeance. Now, for some of you, maybe something's going to return that you want to return. Like if we're going to be as optimistic, silver lining as possible, sure, maybe something you've been wanting to reemerge or return, it does. That's very possible with this energy. But I feel as far as like situations or problems or things Spirit's trying to warn you about, it's like, all right, we're almost there. We're not out of the woods yet. And then something flares back up. So could this be like an explosive problem or some kind where it's like, oh, back again out of nowhere? Like the big thing I'm feeling here is like, here we go again. So just watch out for like repeat cycles, repeat issues, repeat problems. Now, I really want to see what's up with the High Priestess, but Death, don't get nervous about it. Sometimes it can represent endings, transformation, change. When it's in reverse, it's like something coming back around to me. Or something that's not changing, where it's like, all right, same stuff, different day. It's like giving me that kind of vibe here. So we're just going to keep pressing forward. And I mean, if you're connected to Scorpio, this could be it. But yeah, watch out for situations, problems that are a little volatile and just flare up out of nowhere in an explosive manner. Let's go in on the High Priestess. We'll see what she has, then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the lovely High Priestess in the mix? Thank you. All right, that's unique. I wasn't expecting this card. So we have Strength in reverse underneath the High Priestess. Wow. Could that be the advice that Spirit's really wanting to give here? So your power card. This is definitely one of your power cards there. And normally it represents restraint. Normally it's a card that, yes, loving, caring, lots of determination with this card as well. But there's a temptation here. So for some of you, watch out for being tempted to revert back to old ways, revert back to old behavior cycles, especially if they're ones that you don't really like that much. Because yeah, with the high priestess and strength in reverse, it's like, all right, is this worth the trouble, or am I going to revert? It's giving me that kind of vibe. But there's also this energy where I feel like for some of you it could be advice. High priestess with the strength card in reverse could easily, especially if you're a Leo, not a cross watcher, it's like be quiet for now, don't say anything, don't feed into it. So like there could be something that comes in where it's like the less you feed it, the better you're going to be. When I see strength in reverse, yeah, because strength in reverse, your card under the high priestess is like, don't say anything about it, don't address it. The more you feed it, the worse it's going to get. That's just how the energy feels to me. Either that, or there's this potential energy to say, all right, well, what am I doing here? What am I fighting for? So it's very peculiar, very peculiar. I don't think there's too much more on top of that, but let's go through. I'll give you a quick recap, then we'll get into shadows. So there's a little bit of funkiness here. It's all good though, Leo. I think as long as you have like your eyes open and you're a little cautious in this time, you could navigate these waters. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we got the Two of Pentacles, Three of Swords in reverse. Now, for some of you, something that may have been bothering you for a while could start improving. It could be on its way out in a positive way. For another portion of you, there is this energy where it's like, all right, it's getting better, but you're not out of the woods yet. So just be cautious, especially with things you're familiar with and things you've been dealing with for a while. Because moving to the middle, we have the Five of Wands with the Death card in reverse, where it's like, all right, here we go again. So it's like a flare up of some kind, like an explosive problem where it's like, all right, well, things were going so well. What the heck is all this? So watch out for repeat cycles, repeat issues, repeat problems when this energy shows up. For a very small portion of you, there could be something returning or popping back up that you want to, that you haven't given up on. That would be a good thing. But moving to the back end, there's just something here about not feeding it. We have the High Priestess with your power card in reverse underneath it. So there could be a situation, a problem, whatever it might be, where Spirit's like, all right, well, the more you feed it, the worse it's going to be. So I'm not saying treat it like it's nothing. I'm not saying to ignore something, but it's like don't hyper focus on it and don't feed a lot of energy into it for whatever reason. So like this feels okay, but watch out for feeling tempted to revert back to old cycles. So please take a screenshot of that if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Leo. What do we got? And yes, this I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you, something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Let's get it going here. One shadow card for Leo. What do we got? Yeah, so the Five of Wands again is showing up in the shadows. Familiar card. So we're gonna stick to this message. Like just be cautiously optimistic about things. Because when we see the shadow side of the Five of Wands, either one, it's spirit that either this is a determination check that's showing up, or this is spirit that's warning you about something that's incoming. Now, again, I'm not trying to freak anyone out or make you all anxious, but when we get the Five of Wands in the shadows after we see it here with it popping back up, just don't be surprised if you're like touching base with things you've already touched base with before, or solving a problem that you thought you already solved. That's like the big vibe here. It doesn't mean like, hey, don't fight it. I mean, could it be someone that's a little pissed off? Sure. So some of you might be a little more aggressive than you normally are. But the main thing here, it's just highlighting that big message we saw with the Five of Wands in the main part. So we're just going to put it down right there, my beautiful friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the December subscriber surprise. If you would like further clarification on your situation, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My December schedule is live right now, and the spots go quick, so go check it out, see what's available if you want to have a chat with me. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks for all skill levels, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you resonate with most? When you see it in a reading, it's like, yeah, that's me. Put your answer in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.